All right. A newly deployed VoIP phone system is in an office is experiencing frequent call drops and poor audio quality. Users report that the issue worsens during peak business hours. The network administrator suspects congestion but needs to verify the root cause. What steps should be taken to troubleshoot and optimize the network for VoIP traffic? Make sure that you select 3. A, analyze real-time network traffic using a protocol analyzer to identify bandwidth bottlenecks. B, enable quality of service on the network switches and prioritize VoIP traffic. C, check for excessive packet loss and jitter on the VoIP VLAN. D, change the VoIP codec to a lower bit rate for improved bandwidth efficiency. E, increase the transmission power of wireless access points. Now, while you guys are taking this in, you're probably asking, man, where the hell did he get these questions from? I made them. I created them, right? So in the Certs IT program, our students have access to literally thousands of these questions. Now, just please understanding the questions, getting certification is one piece. It's definitely the first step, right? It's one of the first steps, but just understand as far as getting a gig, there's a lot more to it than just getting the certifications, but this is definitely the first step. And this will just help you overall, understanding what a question is asking, understanding what you need to do, so on and so forth, because that's all you're going to be doing at your job is solving problems. Hopefully me talking isn't throwing you off. If it is, oh, goddamn well, this is free. All right, so you guys ready? Pick 3. All right, so the first thing is, or the 3 that you should have went with is A, B, and C. So A, analyze real-time network traffic using a protocol analyzer to identify bandwidth bottlenecks. So the protocol analyzer is going to analyze the network traffic to see, okay, what protocols are being used the most? What is using the most traffic to kind of see, is it coming from email? Is it coming from the internet? Is it coming from a streaming service? What is causing the bottleneck on the actual network? Next up, you can do quality of service, right? You enable quality of service and it'll prioritize the data coming from the most important places, right? And make sure that the quality coming from those places is always up to par, right? So it'll make sure that we allocate all the resources that we need to this to make sure that the quality of service is always good. Then last but not least, check for excessive packet loss and jitter on the VoIP VLAN. So VoIP stands for Voice over IP. QoS, quality of service, right? Acronyms. So if you do not know what acronyms stand for, trust me, it's going to make the questions 1,000 times harder. They're already hard as hell. Agreed? So if you got this long ass paragraph you got to read with 5 or 6 acronyms in it that you don't know, it's going to be a wrap for you, right? You're going to be in the exam room like, damn, why did I come in here? Why did I waste my time? Why did I waste my money? And what happens to a lot of people, unfortunately, is they completely bomb on their first certification. They was reading the wrong stuff. They're just a terrible test taker. They ain't got no damn confidence. They was listening to the wrong people. And when they get in there, they do so poorly that they think it's not for them. And it's not just that it's not for them. It's just that they didn't prepare properly and they didn't have, the right roadmap and the right structure. All right, so let's go to the next one. A Windows 11 workstation running multiple virtual machines suddenly starts experiencing significant power degradation. Task Manager reports high disk usage. Despite no active applications using the drive, the system has 32 gigabytes of RAM and an SSD with 1 terabyte of free space. What actions should be taken to diagnose and resolve the issue? Select 2. A, check if the system is running out of virtual memory and adjust the page file size. B, monitor disk activity with Resource Monitor to identify background processes consuming IOPS. C, disable virtualization extensions such as VTX or AMD-V and BIOS to improve CPU performance. D, convert the SSD from MBR to GPT format for better performance. Or E, move virtual machine swap files to separate physical drives. Choose two that make the most sense. All right, so 3, 2, 1. All right, so hopefully what you guys picked is A and B, right? So A, check the file system is running out of virtual memory and adjust the page file size. So virtual memory is normally used when you don't have enough physical memory. A few questions back, we talked about physical memory, physical storage. If you don't have enough, it starts acting weird. The computer may shut down and may do other things. So when you don't have enough physical memory, you can use virtual memory in the place of that, right? Now, this is a good example of what can happen on the actual exam. If you get to a question and you have no idea what the hell it's talking about, skip it and go to the next question. Because down the road somewhere, there may be something that's going to trigger some stuff in you to say, oh, okay, that's what the hell I was talking about. And this is an example of that, right? So we talked about physical storage earlier. This is talking about virtual storage, right? So if you don't have enough physical storage, you can use virtual memory as a temporary fix for that. And the other thing is monitor disk activity with resource monitor to identify background processes that is consuming too much IOPS. All right, so in the description, right? Not in the description, but in the comments, tell me, what does IOPS stand for? What does IOPS stand for, right? But like we talked about before, right? So resource monitor can kind of show you the background processes that are running, how much storage space is using, how much RAM is using, and if you actually need to shut it down to make sure that other resources and other things work properly. Let's go to the next one. A company implements a policy requiring multi-factor authentication for all remote employees. After deployment, multiple users report being locked out of their accounts despite entering correct credentials. The IT team confirms that network connectivity is stable and that users are entering valid authentication details. What are the best troubleshooting steps to resolve the issue? Select two. A, verify if time synchronization between authentication servers and user devices is correct. B, check if incorrect MFA token synchronization is causing authentication failures. C, disable MFA temporarily and allow single-factor authentication until the issue is resolved. D, delete all user accounts and recreate them in Active Directory. Or E, switch MFA authentication from time-based one-time passwords to email-based authentication. Three, two, one. Make sure that you guys select two. All right, so the answer to this is going to be A and B. So if the time on the authentication servers and the device, whether it's a cell phone, a laptop, a PC, if those two times aren't right, it's not going to authenticate. It's going to look like, okay, this person must not be in the same place that I'm in. They can't have access because it says they're on a different day, a different time zone, so they can't be can't get access to what they want access to, right? So make sure that that's always synchronized, same time on everything across the board, or that user will not receive authentication, won't receive updates, and may not even be able to log into any systems. B, check if incorrect MFA token synchronization is causing authentication failures, right? So that's pretty self-explanatory, right? All right, so we got one more question left. one more question, right? So just let me know in the description, how do you feel? Why the hell do I keep saying description? In the goddamn comments is what I'm trying to say. In the comments, let me know how you feel. And what did you get, right? What did you get? So we got one more question, right? We got one more question. Make sure everybody that watches this, make sure that you put what you got in the description. Or did you get 30%, 40%, 7 out of 10, 10 out of 10? And please don't cap. I don't know you. I can't see you. So don't lie. Don't lie to me and don't lie to yourself. If you failed, you failed, right? Just know that we are progressing, right? And then you can watch this video over and over and over and over and over again until you get 10 out of 10. That's what the goal is. And we'll pretty much just keep everybody accountable. However many times you got to watch it, how many times did you have to watch this until you got 10 out of 10? And when you get 10 out of 10, those are the people that I'm going to respond to. Only those people, right? So if you get 10 out of 10, I'll send you a virtual fist pump, and then we kind of go from there. All right, so let's get into the last question. Hopefully you guys get this one right. A company issues new laptops to employees, but within weeks, reports emerge that some systems are experiencing unauthorized BIOS setting changes, including disabled secure boot and altered boot priorities. The security team suspects tampering. What are the most effective steps to prevent unauthorized changes? A, enable BIOS UEFI passwords to restrict access to firmware settings. B, implement hardware-based trusted platform model or TPM security to enforce secure boot policies. C, restrict physical access to USB bootable media by disabling boot from external drives. D, allow full local administrator access so users can adjust BIOS settings as needed. E, enable a firmware rollback feature to restore default BIOS settings when unauthorized changes occur. Select 3. Three, two, one. Hopefully you guys picked these 3. So A, enable BIOS or UEFI passwords to restrict access to firmware settings. So if you put a password on the BIOS or UEFI, which is an interchangeable name for something that does pretty much the same thing, they won't be able to make changes unless they know what the password is or you give them the password. B, implement hardware-based trusted platform security to enforce secure boot policies. So with secure boot, you have to put in a password or a PIN before the system will even boot up and find the operating system and do anything. And last but not least is restrict physical access to USB bootable media by disabling boot from external drives. So gang, how do we feel, man? How do we feel? Hopefully you feel good. Hopefully this was great for you. Hopefully this was amazing for you. And if it was, all I ask you is to subscribe, right? All I ask you is to subscribe to the channel, share it with 2 or 3 people, your mama, your cousin, your dog, whoever else can benefit from this type of stuff. So drop at least 1 or 2 of these videos a week to help people just like you pass the certifications. So like I said, watch this video as many times as you need to, because that's one of the things is repetition. If you don't get it all the first time, that's pretty normal, especially for this exam and especially for as difficult as these questions are. But keep on watching it. And then, like I said, when you get 10 out of 10, just drop it in the comments and let me know. And then we'll just go from there. So 10 out of 10 means that no notes, no backup, no nothing, right? No, right now, what the hell I said, take it without any notes, right? Especially for you to take notes while you're going through the actual training, so on and so forth. But when you actually take the exam, don't have anything, right? You go through this video again, don't have anything, don't have any notes, don't have Google pulled up, don't have ChatGPT pulled up, don't have your friend whispering shit in the corner to you, right? Just make sure that you're using all memory, right? From repetition. And other than that, man, I'll see you in class.